Arizona, the land of endless sunshine, breathtaking desert landscapes, and what was once a red-hot real estate dream. But in 2025, that dream is turning into a chilling nightmare for aspiring homebuyers. In some cities, the very foundation of ownership is crumbling beneath the relentless sun, promising nothing but financial regret. Imagine pouring your life savings into a down payment, only to find your property burdened by crushing costs, plummeting values, and an endless struggle against a market turned hostile. From the sprawling Phoenix metropolitan area to serene desert oases, Arizona's housing market has become a minefield. Sky-high mortgage rates are just the beginning. Massive oversupply from overzealous builders, crippling insurance costs, growing concerns about water scarcity, and an exodus of speculative investors are combining to create a perfect storm, slamming the door shut on cautious buyers. These aren't just expensive markets, they are actively deteriorating, turning homes into liabilities. Which Arizona cities, once beacons of opportunity, are now becoming financial quicksand for homebuyers? Where are the warning signs clearest, threatening to engulf new owners in a wave of regret? We're diving deep into the grim data, identifying the most precarious markets. Get ready for a stark, unsettling truth. Today, Discover the Nation unveils the top 10 worst cities to buy a home in Arizona in 2025. If you're thinking about investing your money in the Grand Canyon state this year, this crucial warning is your guide to protecting your future.
Number 10. Tucson. While often considered a more laid-back and culturally rich alternative to the frenetic pace of Phoenix, Tucson's housing market is not immune to the state's broader struggles, making it a notably risky bet for homebuyers in 2025. Its reputation for affordability is rapidly eroding amidst the downturn. Tucson's housing market saw significant price appreciation during the pandemic boom, though not as extreme as Phoenix. Median home prices consistently hovered around $370,000, attracting both residents and some investors. However, a cooling in inbound migration, coupled with persistent 7% mortgage rates, has put immense pressure on buyer demand. The local job market, heavily reliant on the University of Arizona, tourism, and some manufacturing, hasn't generated the explosive wage growth needed to support these elevated prices for the average family. If you're finding this deep dive into Arizona's changing real estate crucial for your understanding, please consider gently hitting that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support helps us bring you more vital insights like this. The market symptoms are undeniable. Inventory in Tucson has surged by over 25% year over year, leading to homes sitting longer on the market, average 80 days, and an increasing percentage of price cuts. Builders who expanded new construction on the city's outskirts are now facing slower sales. While Tucson might not face the same extreme oversupply as parts of Phoenix, the combination of elevated prices, limited local affordability, and general market slowdown across the state makes it a precarious investment. For those drawn by Tucson's charm, the housing market presents a precarious investment in 2025, where the dream of a peaceful retreat could quickly turn into a financial quagmire. Number 9. Prescott. Nestled amidst ponderosa pines and renowned for its mild climate and historic downtown, Prescott has long been a desirable destination for retirees and those seeking an escape from the desert heat. Its serene appeal once drove a robust housing market. But in 2025, Prescott is revealing itself as a notably risky city for homebuyers, where a charming lifestyle comes with a significant and often unseen financial gamble. Prescott's desirability during the pandemic boom pushed its median home prices to surprising heights, consistently around $550,000. This created an overvaluation fueled by retirement and second home buyer demand. However, a cooling in inbound migration, coupled with persistent 7% mortgage rates, is curtailing this specific buyer pool. Many retirees are rethinking large purchases, and discretionary spending for second homes is diminishing. The market indicators reflect this shift. Inventory in Prescott has surged by over 30% year over year, and homes are sitting significantly longer, average 95 days on market, with a rising percentage of price cuts. The local job market, heavily tied to tourism and retirement services, isn't generating the wages needed to support these elevated prices for local buyers. Furthermore, general cost of living expenses, combined with increasing concerns about wildfire risk in surrounding areas impacting insurance premiums, add to the financial burden. For those drawn by Prescott's charm, the housing market presents a precarious investment in 2025 where the dream of a peaceful retreat could quickly turn into a financial quagmire.
Number 8. Flagstaff. Perched amidst majestic ponderosa pines and serving as a gateway to natural wonders, this mountain city has long been cherished for its unique blend of outdoor adventure, a vibrant university atmosphere, and its reputation as a serene escape. However, in 2025, Flagstaff has become an increasingly hostile environment for homebuyers, as its idyllic allure has run head-on into market reality, turning its promise of mountain living into a pervasive financial risk. Flagstaff's boom was less about sprawling new construction and more about its inherent desirability and limited inventory, attracting remote workers seeking lifestyle, second home buyers, and investors drawn to the robust tourism. Median home prices here soared, peaking around $720,000 in mid-2022. The market is saturated with overpriced homes that are struggling to find owners, leading to a significant oversupply of stagnating listings. This is exacerbated by persistent 7+% mortgage rates, making even these once sought-after properties an impossible stretch for most budgets. The real problem tearing through Flagstaff's market? An overwhelming overvaluation coupled with declining buyer urgency. While its natural beauty remains, local wages simply can't support the sky-high prices, pushing the price-to-income ratio to an unsustainable extreme. Listings are up a staggering 35% year-over-year, as properties that were quickly snatched up now linger for extended periods, average 110 days on market. Concerns about the immense cost of living in a high-altitude climate, including high utility bills and increased maintenance for winter conditions, also add a layer of uncertainty for buyers. Flagstaff's mountain dream at any cost era is dead, leaving its once invincible market and hopeful buyers in a precarious financial position, hinting at a potential downturn in 2025.
Number 7. Sedona. Nestled amidst its iconic red rock formations and renowned for its spiritual vortexes, vibrant art scene, and luxury retreats, this city has long embodied an almost ethereal promise of exclusive living. But in 2025, Sedona is revealing a harsh truth. Its otherworldly allure has run head-on into market reality, turning its promise of serene paradise into a pervasive financial risk. Sedona's boom was driven by its extreme desirability and severely limited inventory, attracting a unique blend of high-net-worth remote workers, luxury second-home buyers, and short-term rental investors. Median home prices here consistently reached stratospheric levels, peaking around $950,000 in mid-2022. However, this intense, niche demand has now dramatically cooled. If you're finding this crucial information for understanding Arizona's unique market shifts, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. The market symptoms are clear. General housing inventory in Sedona has surged by over 40% year over year, creating an extreme surplus of properties that are simply sitting. Homes that once vanished in 15-20 days are now lingering for an average of 110 days on market. Sellers are desperately offering aggressive incentives, from significant price reductions exceeding $100,000 to including luxury furnishings just to attract wary high-end buyers. Sedona's exclusive retreat at any cost era is dead, leaving its breathtaking properties and hopeful sellers in a precarious financial position, hinting at a notable downturn in 2025.
Number 6. Marana. This rapidly expanding town northwest of Tucson has been a beacon of planned growth, promising modern homes, access to stunning outdoor recreation, and a quieter suburban dream. But in 2025, Marana is revealing a harsh truth. Its ambitious, developer-driven expansion has run head-on into market reality, making it a notably risky city for homebuyers, where brand-new homes are struggling desperately to find owners. Marana's boom was entirely driven by its perceived affordability relative to Tucson, attracting families seeking more space and a fresh start in its master-planned communities. Median home prices consistently reached around $480,000 during the peak. However, builders broke ground on thousands upon thousands of new homes, creating a massive oversupply in a market now constrained by persistent 7% mortgage rates. Even for its local median household income, around $85,000, these new builds are proving to be a significant financial stretch, pushing the limits of what a family can realistically afford. New home inventory in Marana has surged by over 40% year over year, creating an extreme and unprecedented surplus. Developments that once pre-sold homes before completion are now sitting with hundreds of completed, unsold units, a stark contrast to their booming past. The average time for a new build to sit on the market has climbed to 95 days, a clear sign that buyer urgency has vanished. Builders are now offering aggressive incentives, from significant price reductions of $30,000 to $50,000 to lavish free upgrades and substantial closing cost credits just to attract wary buyers into their empty developments. Marana's dream of endless new homes is being undermined by a severe construction glut and a rapidly cooling buyer pool, turning its promise into a pervasive problem for 2025.
Number 5. Hullbrook. This small, historic city in northeastern Arizona, famous for its Route 66 heritage and a charming blend of quirky roadside attractions and gateway to the Petrified Forest National Park, was once viewed as an ultimate affordable escape. But in 2025, Hullbrook's modest housing market is facing a painful reality check, as a brief, surprising surge in interest has now outpaced any sustainable demand, making it a notably risky place for those who bought into its fleeting charm. Hullbrook's unexpected boom was less about planned development and more about a sudden surge of extreme affordability hunters and remote workers seeking ultimate isolation post-pandemic. Median home prices, once astonishingly low, surprisingly climbed to around $220,000 by mid-2022. The market is saturated with available homes that are struggling to find owners, especially with persistent 7% plus mortgage rates, making even these inexpensive properties a stretch for the very modest local incomes, around $38,000. Properties that saw fleeting interest are now accumulating, with the average time for a home to sit on the market climbing to 120 days. The dream of Hullbrook as an ultimate affordable escape or a quirky investment has quickly become a financial burden, hinting at a prolonged downturn in 2025 for this quiet desert outpost.
Number 4. Buckeye. Located in the far west valley of the Phoenix metro, Buckeye epitomized Arizona's sprawl, offering seemingly endless tracts of affordable land for massive new developments. This city was built on the promise of explosive future growth, but in 2025, Buckeye's housing market is confronting a devastating reality. Its speculative ambition has led to a severe oversupply, making it one of the riskiest cities for homebuyers in the state. Buckeye's boom was almost entirely driven by speculative new construction, with builders acquiring vast amounts of land and initiating huge master-planned communities, expecting limitless future demand. Median home prices reached around $400,000. However, this aggressive, forward-looking construction has now catastrophically outpaced actual buyer absorption. The market is drowning in newly built homes that are struggling to find owners. The real problem tearing through Buckeye's market? An overwhelming new home inventory glut that is simply unprecedented. Listings are up a staggering 55% year over year. Homes are sitting for extended periods, average 115 days on market, with builders offering desperate incentives, including massive price reductions, $40,000 to $70,000, free amenities, and heavily subsidized interest rates just to move properties. Buyer demand has evaporated. Concerns about water access for such rapid and extensive development also add a layer of long-term risk that's now becoming a short-term issue. Buckeye's build-it-and-they-will-come strategy has backfired spectacularly, turning its ambitious new developments into a desolate landscape of unsold properties. Number 3. Mesa. As one of the largest and most established cities in the Phoenix metro, Mesa saw immense growth during the housing boom, attracting families and businesses with its diverse economy. But in 2025, Mesa's housing market is facing a significant downturn, making it a notably risky bet for homebuyers as prices fall and inventory mounts across its sprawling neighborhoods. Mesa's growth was driven by its expanding job market in tech, aerospace, and healthcare, as well as its appeal to families seeking more affordable suburban living than Central Phoenix. Median home prices reached around $480,000. However, Mesa also experienced significant new construction. This surge in supply, coupled with a general slowdown in migration and persistent 7% mortgage rates, has created a severe imbalance. For its median household income, around $70,000, these prices are now proving unsustainable, putting immense pressure on buyers. If you're finding this crucial information for understanding Arizona's market shifts, please gently hit that subscribe button to discover the nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. The market's health is visibly deteriorating. Inventory in Mesa has surged by over 45% year over year, leading to properties sitting for longer, average 95 days, and a high percentage of price cuts. Speculative investors who bought in during the boom are now looking to offload properties, adding to the glut. Rising concerns about the region's long-term water supply also intensified during a period of economic uncertainty, adding another layer of risk perception that's now becoming a short-term issue. Mesa's position as a foundational part of the Phoenix metro makes its downturn particularly alarming, threatening a substantial erosion of equity for its large population of homeowners.
Number 2. Scottsdale. This exclusive upscale desert city, synonymous with luxury resorts, high-end shopping, and a vibrant nightlife, became a magnet for wealthy retirees, snowbirds, and high-net-worth investors. Its housing market soared, reflecting immense desirability. But in 2025, Scottsdale's housing market is facing a monumental downturn, making it one of the riskiest cities for high-end homebuyers and investors in the entire state. Scottsdale's housing boom was fueled by immense wealth, a continuous influx of affluent residents, and a strong luxury market. Median home prices consistently reached astronomical levels, often exceeding $900,000. However, a national economic slowdown coupled with persistent 7% mortgage rates is drastically curtailing this specific buyer pool. High net worth individuals are delaying luxury purchases, and discretionary spending for second homes or investment properties is diminishing. The danger for Scottsdale lies in its concentration of high-end, often speculative inventory. New home inventory, particularly in the luxury segment, has surged by over 30% year over year. Homes are sitting for extended periods, average 110 days on market, with a high percentage of significant price cuts on multi-million-dollar properties. The market is seeing an investor retreat, particularly those in the short-term rental market who can no longer turn a profit. The high general cost of living, including steep HOA fees for luxury communities and rising general costs, further stresses homeowners. For those drawn by Scottsdale's glamour, the housing market presents a precarious investment in 2025, where the dream of luxury could quickly turn into a substantial financial loss. Number 1. Phoenix. Topping our list as the single worst city to buy a home in Arizona in 2025, Phoenix, Arizona. Once without a doubt one of the absolute hottest real estate markets in all of America, this sprawling desert metropolis became a magnet for sun-seekers, remote workers, and aggressive real estate investors. Builders, in turn, unleashed a relentless torrent of new construction across the valley. But in 2025, Phoenix is experiencing a monumental reckoning, with home values actively collapsing, making it the riskiest market in the entire state. Phoenix's explosive growth was fueled by unparalleled in-migration, the allure of warmer weather, and a seemingly endless appetite for new homes and investment properties. However, this extreme level of construction has now collided head-on with sharply rising 7% mortgage rates, the significant pullback of iBuyers who once absorbed properties like candy, and increasing public awareness of the region's long-term water challenges. Buyer demand, which once seemed limitless,
dried up faster than an Arizona creek in August. If you're finding this crucial information for understanding market vulnerabilities, please gently hit that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support powers our in-depth investigations. The danger for Phoenix is magnified by its extreme oversupply of new construction, inventory up 60% year over year, and its prior speculative frenzy. This vast new inventory combined with a sharp drop in overall demand has led to widespread price reductions, accelerated builder incentives, and an increase in foreclosures and distressed sales. Homes are sitting for extended periods, average 130 days on market. Rising concerns about the region's long-term water supply also intensified during a period of economic uncertainty, adding another layer of risk perception. Phoenix's market, built on a foundation of rapid growth and speculative investment, is uniquely exposed to a severe economic downturn, promising a devastating financial loss and a prolonged, painful recovery for anyone buying in 2025.
Final thoughts. This has been a stark, sobering look at the 2025 Arizona housing market, exposing the immense risks facing homebuyers across the Grand Canyon state. The ambition of builders, fueled by years of unprecedented demand, has collided head-on with economic realities, high interest rates, and growing environmental concerns. The consequences are profound. For developers, it's a lesson in overspeculation, leading to financial distress and desperate measures. For local economies, it signals a slowdown in a key sector, impacting jobs and consumer confidence. And for millions of aspiring homeowners in these exposed markets, it highlights a crucial risk. Investing in Arizona's housing right now could lead to significant value erosion, impacting their financial security for years to come. What's next for these vulnerable markets? Only time will tell if they can find a path to stability or if the dream of the desert home will become a widespread financial nightmare. For now, the warning signs are clear and vigilance is paramount. And remember, bro, if you found this information about market trends and vulnerabilities helpful, gently hit that subscribe button to Discover the Nation. Your support helps us bring you more crucial insights and help you make smart decisions.